I love poetry. What about you?
Welcome to Parenting Matters Now, a source of parenting advice a few minutes at a time.
Hi, this is Dr. Roger Smith of the Parenting Matters Now. I would say that I love poetry depending on what you mean by it. I have a friend who challenged me one day at church. My dear friend Megan, she challenged me one day. She said, "Hey, I know you like poetry. Let's do an exchange." And every week for a period of time, we exchanged poems that we would find for one another. And, you know, she liked kind of non-rhyming poems. And I'm going, what's the point? No, sometimes they really are great. But whenever I think of a poem, I think of rhyming poetry. And there is something powerful about someone who has planned it out and put truth or an idea or beauty or something into the words that have a rhythm, that have rhyme to them. You know, and that's what songs are. Songs are poetry that's been put to music or sound and rhythm and different things. And so the non-rhyming poetry is fine with me, but really what gets to me is the rhyming poetry. And I would encourage you to introduce your children to poems and begin with something very small, such as limericks. Limericks are 5-line poems that quite often they're kind of funny, or they're little jabs at ideas or people making fun of situations. So quite often limericks are funny. And so they are great ways to introduce it to children, and because they're short, and children have very short attention span. In fact, you know, under the age of 5, 3 or 4, their attention span is probably only about 15 seconds. That's very short, and their mind's going somewhere else. They're all over the place. And so a very short poem is a great way to introduce children to poetry. But I want to share with you a poem today that I have loved, and this one is about mothers and the impact of mothers. Those of you who like poetry, and particularly if you are a mother, or if you have a mother, and I think that includes all of us, maybe this poem will mean something to you. As I sit here on my porch, you may hear the rain pitter-patter. It's dropping on the steps over here, so ignore that. But here's a poem that was written in the 1800s by a gentleman of the name of Strickland Gilliland. It was in the day of there was slavery during those years. At any rate, it makes a reference to slavery in here, so don't just have to understand that it was in context of the time. Here's the poem. I had a mother that read to me sagas of pirates that scoured the seas, cutlasses clenched and yellow teeth, blackbirds stowed in the hold beneath. I had a mother that read to me lays of ancient and gallant and golden days, stories of Marmion and Ivanhoe, which every boy has a right to know. I had a mother that read to me tales of Gaylord the Hound of the hills of Wales, true to his trust, to his tragic death, faithfulness blended his final breath. I had a mother that read to me things with that wholesomeness to a boy heart bring, things that stir with an upward touch. Oh, that the mother of every boy were such. You may have tangible riches untold, caskets of silver and coffers of gold, but richer than I, you'll never be. I had a mother that read to me. The richness of mothers interacting with their children through stories, reading books, and introducing them to poetry. It will bless them and bless you. This is Dr. Roger Smith of Parenting Matters Now.
Subscribe to Parenting Matters Now for more advice, or go to rogersmithmd.com to search for more topics. See you next time.